Hello, welcome to another replay analysis. This one's going to be a replay, or sorry, this is a live game, excuse me. This is going to be with Kuku from Geekfam, or previously from Geekfam. He's going to be now playing the Bloodseeker Offlane, which you've seen the very meta, I would say, pick at this point. We've seen a lot. We saw Secret do it. We saw Seb kind of use it, and then Secret used it against him, and so it kind of took off in terms of the Omega League and all that. I think it's still very good right now, but we'll just see kind of how it plays out, at least in SCA. Obviously, starting off with Bloodright, just the amount of zone it creates, pushes the lane, and it does a ton of damage, so you gotta be super careful. Clock, on the other hand, has gone Flare, Rocket Flare that is, and he's looking to cut the creeps, just ensuring that they do get all of the creeps. There's no such pulling or anything like that, especially since this Bloodright will push the lane. So he's bringing it right to the Bloodseeker, which is great. One of the creeps got caught through. And yeah, with the Bloodright there, it does a sick amount of damage, especially this state. For the record, it's 2-3. Just maximize these two, obviously, when you get Rupture on 6. But it's super good. Hang on, let's just see. Hang on. The damage here is 120 damage for 70 mana. So the efficiency is just amazing. Definitely something that you want to do. And you're kind of like not a traditional offlaner where you're like tanking things up and just fighting, but you're more of like, you spam it, you get out of the trees, you hide away. Kind of like an Underlord in that sense. You're definitely not as tanky, but your spell damage can be insane. That courier is a little worrying. Bloodright one other time to zone and to secure the last hit. Just getting maximum value out of it. Got to be a little careful with the mana. And again, 70 mana, which is the craziest part about this spell. And he's looking to just turn. Okay. He's buying some items. First item you want to go is probably... okay, he's looking to Rage. I mean, you're going to want Veil at one point. I think that's the biggest thing. It's a pretty big power spike when you can do that in addition to the Bloodright. The clock continue to just pull the creeps, cut the creep waves. I like it. And he actually makes the pull through himself. Oh my gosh, this coffee is very bitter. Bloodright one other time. He's going to Rage. Doesn't really have the regen now, so he does need to be a little bit careful, especially against an Oracle who has a lot of burst. But he's back in. He's going to try to heal up as much as possible. Obviously, that's the biggest thing about Thirst. The Oracle's actually charging that Bloodright up. But do you want to go for this? It's living dangerously. Oh my gosh. Okay, the Oracle burst is just like barely enough, and if you mistime it, you actually hurt your chances, because the fact that it actually out heals the damage. It's a really weird spell. Oracle's a weird hero. I'm not a huge fan of him myself. I feel like I'm not smart enough. If I had like 50 more IQ points, I might be able to play. Oh, but Fortune said one other time, Rage. He's trying to go for the last hit because he's trying to heal off of it, but man, he is playing super dangerously. Assault Battery doing a little bit of work, but he's zoned out now. It's kind of hitting the creeps. Not what you want. Bloodright does connect. They've got the Rage one other time, but body block from the clock. Very nicely done there. He's going to have to go back and... yeah, he's got to heal up now. 600 gold, though. And he's going to just back away here. But 18-2. Look at the last hits. I mean, Lifestealer 18-1. It's about 5 minutes coming up soon. Invis in the bot lane. Power shot misses. I mean, when you're walking back to the fountain like this, you might as well just kind of check out the other lanes. Maybe we should turn off the chat. I don't think it's relevant. All right, but Kuku's back. He's completely healed on up. TP's back into the lane. Clock got a little bit of experience out of that. And he hasn't really been falling off. I mean, level 3 is level 3, right? Everybody's level 3, so... one other time. More zoning. Securing the last hits. Just pushing the lane. So... I mean, Clock is also a pretty good lane partner to have. Because if you rupture somebody, he's looking to just TP on away. Clock, if he's fast enough, either... you know, if he's got 6, he can hook. Or he can just assault battery onto him. So... salve up in the Lifestealer. And they're pulling on both sides. Both of the supports are being very active. It is 5 minutes. That was actually a really nice pull by Clock. He pulls it, and then he gets the rune, which is perfectly timed. He's going to run on back, make sure that he gets as many of these creeps as possible. Misses that one last hit. Shame, Kuku, shame. All right, but he gets that one. Another thing is that he's been really prioritizing the last hits just because of the fact that the heal that he gets, and I'm not going to do the math here, but it definitely is 18%. Heals heroes, creeps, 12%. It's a lot of healing that comes out. So he's innately has a lot of sustain. Oh, but he found the creep wave. Bloodthirst, level 2, doing a lot more damage. The catapult he does need to be a little careful for, but he's pulling it all the way back. Yeah, I mean, you can pretty much, you can cut the creeps like this because, like, the heal, look at the heal. They got to glyph it to try to save it. Oh, man. He's, like, cutting creeps like Axe would, right? I don't think he really cares about this, unless Lifestealer's in position as well. They don't have another glyph, so they wasted the glyph just to try to prevent him from, you know, getting the last hits on all of these 2 sets of creeps. And he gathers up the next one. So this is, again, you know, after 5 minutes, he's been pulling it through. This is pretty nice. Oh, Oracle, you get cogged in. Bloodthirst, but TPs are on the way, and the Witch Doctor is there. He can cask if he wants to, but they're creating just so much space between these two. Lifestealer's just in the back. He really can't do much. He's got to stick with the tower because he's got to get the last hits there. But Lifestealer is now coming, and he's actually bringing friends in terms of the creep wave. And there we go. That's the first hunger. Yeah, and he gets bursted by the Oracle. Definitely something. But look at it. It seems bad, right? But you've pushed 3 heroes towards you, and this Witch Doctor seems to be in a bad spot here. He's got Malediction on him, on the clock that is, but doesn't really, he can do much there. So, Lifestealer here, sorry, that one is called Rage, and that one is called Feast, and yes, I should know that. But sometimes, on a Wednesday like this, you forget things, okay? One other time, the nice Shackle! And yeah, he's level 6, the cog's on back, he's got less mana, he's silenced. A little bit of time, and he goes down. Really nice rotation. Yes, it took the army or village to secure that one. Even Drow was in on the action, but Drow really needs to get out of there. This is Timber is looking to be starting to scale, starting to get a little scary. Not much you can do. All right, let's go into the free perspective here. So he's starting to get a little. I mean, three levels of reactive armor. You're gonna have a hard time. Like, you can kind of go under tower and let this catapult do some work. So Javelin coming on the Wind Ranger, TPs as well on the Treant. He's trying to out-heal it, but no, not quick enough. And sorry, actually, this is a what you call it? Who is this? This is a Bloodthirster or Bloodseeker replay or a game. So we should be watching him. But he's level 6, 8 minutes 30 seconds. Top 4. They did find the Timber. I mean, yeah, it took 3 or whatever heroes to kind of rotate there. But Drow's kind of sitting around. Lifestealer just respecting it. Oh, now he's going for it because he was waiting for the Witch Doctor. He's got the Feast, the multi-shot doing some work, but not really doing a whole lot of damage on, and he's going to let the TP away. The cask has already been used. So now Lifestealer's like, oh shit, now I'm in trouble. They get the Witch Doctor, so they've gotten at least something out of it, which, you know, Drow had just TP'd on back, so... Power shots actually misses the Lifestealer though, and then they're trying to get more. They're trying to find this Oracle. The Wind Run. They're just trying to get to the right angle for the Shackle. Oracle staying right in the middle, being a little bit smart with this. And Treant is like, "Why are you killing my trees?" I'm assuming that's how a Treant would speak. Javelin here. This is a pretty big power spike. For the Wind Ranger, power shots, just kills the range. Sleight of Fist, and they should see Clock is nearby, but he's not level 6 yet. He's like literally a creep behind. They really need that hook to kind of secure things. Oh, okay, that's just a. I thought it was Courier. And there we go. That's what we're talking about. And the BM TPs, or sorry, the tips are coming. It's one way you kind of just play with their heads, but 10 minutes again, and I really like the fact that this Clock he's been active. You know, and he's been securing a lot of the runes, which is a pretty big one. He's going to engage Timber. Steals it from him right under his nose. He does have Hook if he wants to go. He should be fine. Look at him. And he's just dancing in front of him. What do you do in front of the Timber? You just taunt him. Here we go. The Shackle. Oh, but the hook shot on the other end. He's backing up. He's been silenced. Yeah, that's just... It's pretty sick. Like, this is, again, the power of the Bloodseeker. Cogs right underneath the tower. And they're looking to fight the Oracle, who really can't do much. Timber is also here. They got a nice little power shot. Lifestealer's on the way. TP. Shackle is going to connect. The cask is bouncing around level 5. And the power shot does end up securing the Oracle. And now the Death Ward and the Cogs... Or, sorry, the Clockwork is just running through that. The Cogs is there. Shackle doesn't actually latch on the second time. They do have the Overgrowth. And it looks like it's an all-out retreat here. The power shot... Or, sorry, the... Focus Fire and the Moonwalking back, and he's looking to just continue to engage this, but there seems like too much reactive armor. I don't know if this is the right play. Oh, they get the Witch Doctor, who's solo. Okay, so what do I know? These Witch Doctors continue to fight. Lifestealer's like, come on, man, I just want to farm these creeps. He's going to turn. Feast is on up. He does have Wind Run if he wants to go at the last second. Nani? Oh, he DC'd. What a terrible time to DC. Because I was like, why is he sticking around? This seems like a really bad positioning play. But I guess when, you know, you get DDoSed or whatever, DDoSed, can't really do much there. And this is perfect for the Drow, who's going to just provide a little bit of space here and just continue to push. So we've seen just how strong that this can be. I mean, he's going to get Veil, or he should get Veil. But that silence, been clutch, right? And the clock has been there. They've been creating a lot of space for this Drow. But yeah, interesting that the Windrunner, like, because she could have definitely Wind Run and just started running away. There's no way she would have stuck around because she was losing that battle. So that seemed a little silly, but Drow here again. Put a little tower pressure. This is what you want in the Drow. She does a lot of push. And clock is actually the same level as this Ember. Nice cogs on the high ground. Really nice positioning there, because if you push him back, you lose sight of him. Makes it very difficult for him to just kind of get killed, so to speak, or get gone on. Slight, no chains. Oh, sorry, you didn't even level chains, so that's never going to happen. The hook finds the Oracle and the Shackle. In addition to that, that is a dead Oracle. It's like he couldn't see in the future. Wind Ranger just getting healed, gets the mid tower. That's a pretty big objective. And Clinical Pay here just kind of wants this creep. And the Life Stealer is inside. He's trying to dodge it as much as through possible. The multi-shot actually not doing it. Oh, the Nature's Grasp is also going to miss. But they found him now. Timber is here, and he just pops out of that like Kool-Aid. He rages on back. Focus Fire is doing a lot of work. Overgrowth is going to connect. Does stop him. He's been ruptured, so he's got nowhere to go. Lifestealer has to just tank that. Timber goes down as well. 2 for nothing so far, and they continue to want more. Nature's Grasp. This Oracle, this is so pathetic. When you're level 5 at 13 minutes, not even having False Promise, and they want more. Clock has just been a, like, space-creating machine, I would say. Very good position for play. Death Ward, and the Malediction. That's going to do a lot of work. But here comes the zoning from the Bloodseeker. His Bloodright just doing a decent amount, at least stopping it. Clock is going to be fine. He's TP's back. Now the Gust is there, and surprise, motherfucker. And they're looking to turn this around, and the Ember goes down first. Lifestealer's back into play. Oh, he's got the Feast on Wind Ranger, but actually doesn't commit to this because he realizes that everybody's just way in the back, just kind of waiting for that fight to go on. He did not want to sacrifice himself, seeing as he just spawned. Net worth right now. Wind Ranger's up in front. Heal up and Wind Run away. Nice little shackle on that creep. Bloodright is actually going to miss him, but he's been ruptured. And that should just kind of end everything. Everybody's going to disengage. Oh, but the Veil is there. Okay, that's the reveal. Hey, Define Me. How are you? Alright, so Arcane Rune picked up here. Almost as MKB. And that's, again, brown boots and MKB. That's the new meta, right? Well, it's not so new anymore, but 7.27Ds, that's the way you play Wind Ranger. So nice little slight into chains, overgrowth, but the wrong way, and he's kind of on the wrong side of this. Oh, nice gust there. Overgrowth is going to be there, and then the silence, and the Ember's looking to continue to fight. Timber's going for this. He wants at least the Treant. He gets the Chakram out. He's going to go. Timber chain. He secures the Treant, and Ember will just be remnant away. He should be fine. He's got the bottle charges, and Treant goes down there. Cask. Focus fire up on this Witch Doctor, and that's going to be all she wrote. Lifestealer is just going to be back in. Does have Armlet, and is going to look to go MKB next, deal with that Wind Ranger, with that Wind Run. Slight, and that's level 1 chains, which really doesn't do much. Oh, the Gust catches him on the edge of that, and they've got the others, the Bloodthirst as well. The Ember just being like, silence from all over. They've got the Lifestealer. Nope, he pops into a creep, and he runs away. And the chicken sounds should be on right now. Drow just continue to push the mid lane. And I like the fact that we're not waiting for Drow to get that first big item, right? They realize that they're in a sizable advantage in terms of map control. They kind of have almost everything playing to their, exactly how they want it. Clock is going to step back. It's going to hook to the high ground. Death Ward is going to be used. Wind Run. Oh, but he does die. Malediction, those creeps. And Witch Doctor continues to dance his Jamaican dance. Hurricane Pike coming up next. Interesting enough, doesn't get the 4-staff first, but whatevs. I mean, if you're just gonna buy it all at once, not the end of the world, so to speak. Bloodseeker here. He's gonna pop his clarity, swap things around, and again, just map control, just kind of dominating this game. TP's here, Timber, and we saw kind of that initial, like he was doing really well in the top T1. And then he rotated mid, and he started the team fight. But he doesn't really have the items. He's really not tanky enough where, the dire team need to be afraid of him. So what, the Timber needed to have done is just consistently push the lane so that he got in high ground. By doing that, you create way more space for your Lifestealer than trying to get into bad engagements. At that point, your team just needs to play defensive and understand that they're not winning. They didn't have the greatest of lanes. So you need to adjust. And Timber just being able to push out and create more space would have been more beneficial to the team. And we're seeing exactly why, why their team, why their team is struggling right now, because of the fact that they weren't able to create any space. And look at the Radiant Vision. Hang on. This is pretty much all they have. So they're completely locked in. I'm going to draw this out. This is all you have. You actually have less than that. Sorry, terrible drawing. But because of the fact that you don't have any towers, you can just push through, and they have the T2 top is still up. You really don't have any room for this Lifestealer, and who's had to just jungle in the enemy team's area, and that's what happens, right? He's got no space. TP straight from a Rupture. Nice heads up play by the Witch Doctor. He will survive. He'll be back in the fountain. Continue to push. 1800 gold. For this Bloodseeker, just kind of grouping it up, just being as efficient as possible, right? Whenever you want to just kind of farm things, this is the way you do it, because you heal off of it, so it really doesn't matter how much damage you take. As long as you don't get ganked by, the enemy heroes, I think you're fine. Look at this. It doesn't really matter who's on him. Fortune's End, all right. Timber, okay, that I need to probably respect when there's 3 there. And this Bloodright is going to actually just kind of create this zone where he's going to be able to zone people away, yet, okay, nice invis there. Very fortuitous in the sense that he was being chased at that moment. Rupture's up in 16 seconds. Timber Chain. They don't see him, though. The hook shot actually connects on the Wind Ranger. He does mess that up. Oh, he false promises him, but he actually pops in the Oracle, who will pop like a pimple. Seeing as that the Oracle is very, very weak. There's the reveal. And they're looking to at least take the Lifestealer. The Malta shot in the back end. And yeah, the Overgrowth does connect. A nice little shackle. Wow, there's literally 2 trees. The silence is up, and I think that's pretty much all she wrote. There's really no space, no room. Ember's been having a hard time. That silence, the gust into the, what is this, with the Bloodright? Why do I keep forgetting this? Bloodright has just been, the silence is galore, right? And then you've got the Overgrowth, the Cogs, the Shackle. This is the perfect way to deal with this Ember. So again, I didn't see the draft, but it seems like they kind of botched the draft because this Ember pick into this, assuming that that was the last play, or the last pick that is, it seems to have been, like, I'm going to assume the Drow was picked, Bloodseeker, Treant, and Windranger. And the Ember, you're like, oh, I can dodge all of these things? Like, that seems a bit much. Oracle, oh yeah, okay, Remnants away. And Ember just really needs his Yules, because there's too many silences, too many things to deal with, right? That Gust from Drow is what? How long? 5 seconds. That's an eternity. Okay, he's been cured by the Fortune's End, by the Oracle. That's one way of dealing with it, but it could potentially be very, very bad. And we're seeing this because he's died 7 times. 1-7-1. This KDA is not good. Looks like Roche is going to be gone on here. Seems not as quick as he should be, but Drow's coming along. And with the Manta coming up soon, this is pretty much all she wrote. The itemization, just the map control has just been on point. The cogs in Roshan clock, I'm pretty sure does not want to be in that one, but Windrun will be used here, and that's going to be all. That's it for the Roche. Aegis picked up, nice little hook shot on the Timber. Oh man, he's super low. The Malediction on the force on the high ground, and he pops. But they did get the Witch Doctor, so he did actually trade for that. So not the worst thing for him. But Timber's running for his life. No, he's looking to farm. Focus fire now. Timber chain. Oh, but the nice shackle just stopping that Timber chain. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 God is just going to get slowly whittled down by all 1,000 needles. Well, can they really be considered needles at this point when you have MKB Axonyms up next? And you have the Drow Aura. So... Treant continue to push as Perseverance. Oracle trying to push up the different lanes, gonna TP away. Ember cutting creeps, just trying to buy time, right? This Lifestealer, oh man, has it been trying for him? I mean, he's had Armlet like 8 minutes ago, and he hasn't really been able to do it. Nice little Gust trying to go to the high ground. Thought it was safe. Your jungle is not safe, sir. He's trying to Armlet toggle. He rages. He's barely alive. He gets forced from the Drow, and that's going to be a rupture, and he, again, just dies. Invis going to be picked up here. Just this Dire team's been on point. I don't think that there's been like a single hero where I'm like, this guy's kind of weak. This is why they might throw. But literally everybody has been on point. Again, very high level play. This, in case you don't know, this is Kuku playing the Offlane Bloodseeker here, and they've just been dominating. Look at this guy. Cast Malediction, Death Ward, and yeah, the Bloodright. He's going to Yules. Try to keep himself alive for now. The Malediction is still ticking, though. He's going to have to probably TP away. He does get it back in time. And, yeah. The Oracle does die from the Drow. Does have Aegis. Oh, no. Sorry, does not have Aegis. Windranger does. All right. The Chakra, the Gust on one more time on the Ember. He's going to have to Yules himself to keep himself alive. The Cog is going to push him back, buying a little bit more time. The Meteor Hammer on top of that. Ember can't do shit with that. Really nicely played. Just the amount of control. Like, normally the clockwork is kind of like, oh, a hook shot and then assault battery. But, like, in those tiny gaps between the each of the assault and battery attacks, like, you can remnant away. But if you back up, you cogs him, and you push him back, that actually controls him way longer. So very heads-up play by this clock. He's been on point. I really like his rotations. He's been super effective. Meteor Hammer, and that's going to be the first T3. It's probably going to be Rax. I think that they're just kind of... Yeah, they gave up on this game. Really not much you can do. I would love to hear their team chat, but I'm sure there's a lot of blaming going on. But through the racks, and now they're going to go straight for T4s because they realize, hey, they're just chilling. Not much you can do. Like, as sad as that is, but sometimes there are games that you just can't win. This is one of those, just because the Dire's been on point in terms of how... Oh, force the tree and forward. Cheeky, cheeky, cheeky. That was definitely on the clock. What a dick. Oh, the Gust actually misses. Yule's on the Ember, and they've got the hook shot. Yeah, and that's going to be a dead Ember. Wind Ranger was like, oh, let me just go back to killing and ending this game. And there we go. T4s. A very quick game, 24 minutes, very clinical. Like, who's the guy? Hang on. There was somebody that was since I play. I don't know what that means. I first read it as clinical play, and I thought I was going to give him props because it was like, that was clinical. But, yeah, this is all she wrote. GG, really well played. If you want to know how to play Bloodseeker offlane, this is kind of how you do it. I mean, it was really nice in terms of the draft. Everybody's really just playing really well together in terms of synergizing and everything. But yeah, I mean, this Treant died 4 times, and that was just with the rough lane that he had. But again, it comes back to this Timber not providing space. If he just stayed in that lane, and like, yeah, the other lanes are losing or whatever, but you don't have the damage. You don't really have the tankiness to even survive these things. So for you to help and benefit your team, you need to just push. So, all right, I hope you learned something. I did too. I'll catch you guys next time. If you like what I do, please give a like and subscribe to my YouTube. You can find me at Holler TV. My name is Holler, and I do this every single day, Monday through Thursdays on my Twitch. Please find me at Holler TV, and I will catch you guys next time. Thank you so much.